Okay, what I'm going to be showing here today is the triangular sawing method. Reasons we'd use that is if you're cutting a halving joint or a tenon and you wanted to make sure your line was dead straight when you're cutting down on both sides. So what we do then is, I'm going to move on to this video as if I know how to you know how to use a saw, so we'll skip that bit. I have my marks notched in here with a marking gauge. So what makes it a bit easier now, I have a mark gauged in here already, and I want to ensure that I'm not going to go onto the middle part here, the tenon. I want to stay on the outside here, okay? So what helps me do that then is I can take a small notch out, and that will help me start my saw cut. Now, I have about 2 or 3 mil of waste here, so what's a good idea to do is just to start cutting. You can still draw it back a few times. I'm going to just make a few cuts down, watching the line all the time in the back here. Okay, now the end of my saw is parallel with the bench, okay, so I have enough cut down. Now, what that allows me to do is I've created almost like a hinge for myself here to hinge the saw from. Now, the reason it's the triangular sawing method is I'm going to start off my first cut. I can angle this forward a bit if I like. My first cut is going to start a triangle and go down almost parallel like that. I flip the piece of timber over. I've actually marked it in. What you're going to do is you're going to make your first cut and you're going to cut down here, take away all this along this line. You're going to flip the piece around and you're going to make a second cut, taking away all of this here. So what you're left with in the middle then is a triangle where it gets its name. And then I'm going to finish off a cut straight down to my shoulder line. And what that will do then is it'll make it a lot easier for me to keep my line straight. So I'll just give a quick demonstration. Like I said, I have this one cut already. So what I will do is I will start my cut from my waist and I will keep it hinged here, cutting down, so this part here is doing the work, and it's going to keep going down, and I'm going to stop my cut then once I reach this point here. I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing. So hinge it up here, keep it up here all times, keep cutting down, 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 and now you've kept an eye on this line, and this part here is irrelevant because you've kept it hinged there. You've not actually cut down this side. Now I have, like I was telling you before, I have a triangle left. And I've ensured I've cut 2 straight lines here, so now I'm going to use those both as a guide and finish off my cut. So I'm actually, if you can visualize, this triangle here is all that's left, and I'm going to just cut straight down using my previous cuts as my guide. That's how you do it.